Welcome to This House of Musicians radio show with your host, singer, songwriter, and founder of the band Inner City Outlaws, the Baritone Bear, Mr. Barry Smith, right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board, dial 905-725-1907. Toll free anywhere in North America. 1-866-905-7325. Send us an email. Our email addresses are instudio101@gmail.com or thishouseofmusicians@gmail.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your host of This House of Musicians radio show, the founder of the band Inner City Outlaws, Mr. Baritone Bear, Barry Smith.
Hey! Hi, Gary. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Hey, this is our first show, my first show.
I want to,
I'm not shaking at all, Gary.
Well,
I'm not shaking at all.
I want to
good,
say
man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, this is your freshman show, your first show, and I wish you quite a bit of luck with it. We can see already that you have quite a few listeners.
Oh, that's amazing, bud. That's so cool. Yeah, you know what? I'm happy to be here. Definitely a little out there for me, it's a little bit nervous, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll get better as time goes on. So I want to also, while I'm here, welcome our listener to this House of Musicians on Reality Radio 101. And we hope that you guys enjoy the next hours with us as we help to try to keep the music, or 1 hour, help to try to keep the music alive and live music and bar scene and that. I know it's been dwindling over the years, but we just, any little thing we can do to keep it alive, that's what we're going to do. Barry.
And Barry, could I just say one thing? I'm getting, I just got a quick note here. Our listeners in Europe, we're having a problem with their satellite feed, believe it or not, and they want to know if I could reset the system and come back in, take 1 minute and come back into the beginning of the show. So is that going to be okay for you?
Of course.
Okay, so everybody stand by. This is the House of Musicians radio show. We'll be back in just a minute. We want to do some resets so the people out there in Europe can hear us really well. So we'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back to this House of Musicians radio show. And now right back to your host, the Baritone Bear, Mr. Barry Smith.
Hello, Gary, sir. We're all good now. We're back and at it.
I hope so, and I apologize for that. So we're going to extend the show at least 5 minutes. I just want to make sure everybody was hearing us well.
If I can get one more listener in Europe, Gary, I'll be happy. One listener in Europe is good. But anyway, okay, Gary, so listen, we got a great show. We have, for our first show, Mike Hayes and Doug Robertson from the band Roller Coaster. They are here with us. Say hi, Mike. Say hi, Doug. Hello.
Hi, guys. Pleased to be here.
There you go. So I'm going to talk with them in just a little bit. Gary, I just want to talk with you for a minute because I know you have some exciting things going on with your band, Walker's K.
Thank you.
Yes, I know that you have a song that was recently released called Tell Me Why, which is #1 in South Africa, man. Tell me a bit about that, brother.
Well, that song's called Tell Me, actually, and
sorry, Tell Me, not Tell Me Why. Go ahead.
No problem. We are on a label in New York. It's a semi-major label. It's called MTS Records. and it's been released worldwide. But for some reason, it seems that it's really taken off in South Africa. I think we've only had it released, I don't know, a week or so, and it's already got several thousand sales in it. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Absolutely. And isn't it amazing how that can happen? Like a band, let's say in Canada or in the States can, make an album and have a number one hit off it, but it's only a hit in Germany or Switzerland or, and you guys, South Africa. I mean, nothing happens in the States or Canada. It's absolutely amazing to me how that happens.
And that happens more often than not. A lot of great Canadian bands. I was born and raised in New York, and I followed a lot of Canadian bands back in the day in the 80s and 90s, and they were so big in the States. And then I came up to Canada, and people were like, yeah, I saw them at this bar or this club, and they're not even big here. And that was back in the day, but they were big in the States, and I could never understand that.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Well, I don't think the Canadian music scene is as strong as the American music scene. But of course, they have 10 times, 100 times as more people than we do.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but anyway, okay. And you have a new song out there. It's called Why Oh Why, and that's going to be released next week. Tell me a bit about that song, buddy.
Yeah, that's going to be released next week. Same label, of course. It's basically a song I wrote about a lot of the adversities and problems in the world today. And, we have to ask ourselves, why, oh, why? So it's kind of a perfect time to release it, actually.
Perfect. Yeah. And you know what? I know that you're a pilot. So just briefly, before I start speaking with the guests here, I know you're an airplane pilot as well. So tell me how you got the name Walker's K, because I know the story, but it's very interesting. I think the listener would like to know too.
Well, yeah, back in the 90s, a couple of friends of mine, we decided we were going to just do something crazy. So I said, hey, I got a plane, so let's just fly into the Bahamas. So we flew into the Bahamas, and there's a northern out island called Walker's Cay, and it's still there, and they're revamping it right now. It's a beautiful island, and I spent about 7 days down there. So, I flew right into the island. There's a landing strip there. And I love the island. I love the name. I thought it was unique. Nobody knew what Walker's Cay stood for. So I said, if I ever start a new project, that's going to be the name. And so hence how we got the name Walker's Cay.
Oh, that's awesome, brother. And you know what? I wish you the utmost best of luck with Walker's Cay. I know that you guys, now you have a gold and platinum album already, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yes.
From back in the day.
Yeah, from the gold I was on Atlantic Records, New York. That was in the 80s. And that was a gold album. And then I was on Atlantic again in the 90s and for a second band. I've only been in like 3 bands my whole life. And
amazing.
Yeah, and that particular album we came out in the 90s went platinum.
That's awesome, buddy. What an achievement.
Thank you.
So you guys can listen, the listener out there can listen to any of Walker's Cay stuff on Reverb Nation. Is that right?
I think we're on Reverb Nation, but it's just if people don't mind, if I can give the website, there's links right to that. It's just www.walkersk, and K is spelled with a C, so it's CAY, walkersk.ca. So if you just go to there, everything is on there.
Yeah, check out Gary LaBarre and Walker's Cay, guys. It's some pretty good, interesting music and good stuff, good rock stuff. Thanks, Gary. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guests one more time. We got Mike Hayes and Doug Robertson from the band Roller Coaster with us today, people. And these guys are just absolutely amazing musicians. I know Mike Hayes well, and we actually ride together. And he's a great bass player, and as I was saying earlier on the phone here, I'm a little upset that he's a better guitar player than me because he's a bass player, and I'm a guitar player. But anyway, I guess that's the way it goes sometimes. I think I need to practice more, Mike?
Yeah.
So there you go, buddy. Yep. Well, Mike, it's good to have you guys on here.
Thanks for having
me. And how are you guys doing? Mike, how are you doing? Let's start with you, buddy.
I'm doing great. Working hard still, and pretty much that's about it at the moment. Since we can't
as long as they're keeping you working, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
absolutely. Keep that paycheck coming in.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Mike, how long ago did you hook up with Doug, and how long have you known him, and what kind of tunes you guys do?
I met Doug back in December. We haven't really known each other for very long.
Okay.
It's actually a mutual friend that introduced us, and we basically put the band together. It's classic rock. We're trying to do vocal orientated kind of stuff. So we're doing stuff like the Eagles, Doobie Brothers, and that kind of thing, right? Some that has lots of harmonies. We have 5 guys in the band, and everybody sings and does harmonies and stuff. And that's sort of the kind of music that we're doing.
Well, isn't that cool when you have a band that everybody sings in? I mean, I was watching a show the other day, and Keith Richards said to Paul McCartney one day, you know what, you guys are lucky because everybody in your band sings. Mm-hmm. He was saying that, so that was just on a show that I was watching. I thought, that's really kind of cool. It is true that a band that has more people that can sing in it, it's kind of cool, especially if you're doing harmonies like the Almonds.
Yeah.
Like how incredible was that, right? So
yeah, for sure. I've always been drawn to those kind of bands over the course of my life. Just to me, vocal bands always stand out more. I've seen really good instrumental bands that are smoking players, but couldn't sing a lick. And then a band that can have 4 or 5 part harmonies like the Eagles and just blow everybody away. And I would take the vocals any day of the week over the great musicianship myself.
Oh, for sure. It's cool. It's like you say with the Eagles, you got, Glenn Fry and Don Henley, and they're singing. Well, there's more that sing in the band, but it's very versatile when, they can, you listen to one of their albums and the first song is Glenn Fry and the second song's Don Henley and the third song's, another band member. It's incredible. It's kind of cool when bands can do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for sure.
It takes a lot of work to make a band sound good like that.
For sure. Can you imagine Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Mike? Can you imagine what the rehearsals that they went through and the stuff that they did to sound as good as they did?
Yeah, and finding the right combination of players as well, like the singers that have the right voices that work well together is also a challenge.
Oh, for sure, it's a challenge. Doug Robertson, How are you, bud?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, my friend. How long have you been in roller coaster?
Well, I started that band probably just over a year ago.
Okay, you started it. Awesome. Good.
Yeah, it kind of went dormant. Nobody wanted to do anything. Nobody wanted to play. So then I hooked up with Mike, and Mike and I put together the unit that we have now. And, he's right on with these, with 5 guys that sing, and we can do, like, the harmonies. It's unbelievable, the sound you get out of it,
Well, I can't wait till everything's back to normal. We can get out and see you.
And we've only played 1 gig, and we played at Cheers in Trenton, and it's just an awesome place to play. But that's the only one we've had, and we get a hell of a good response.
Well, that's it. Like I remember talking to Mike about coming in the studio, actually physically coming into the studio, a month or 2 back when I was going to start this show. And then this COVID-19 stuff started to happen. Yep. So that didn't materialize. But I mean, geez, you guys had a gig lined up so you guys did 1 gig together. And where'd you say you did that?
Cheers in Trenton.
Oh, okay. Cheers in Trenton. And that's where the next gig, the last gig was going to be too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. You know what? You guys will get back at her soon enough when this stuff's over here. So now, Doug? What kind of music do you like? Like, who are your favorite musicians?
I'm a huge Bob Seger guy.
Nice. Me and my wife just saw him. Go ahead.
Oh, I haven't. That's one of the guys I've never seen and loved too. Twice he's been up here, and both times I've been playing. So So yeah, everything. I don't care what he does. Everything is good that he does.
Man, me and my wife went and seen him, I don't know when, 6 months ago, 5 months ago. Of course, I always get the shirt, so I'm one of those guys that I got the shirt, but we were close to the stage too, bud, and, he's all gray and older-ish, and oh my God, but that voice is still exactly the same.
Yeah.
You go see some bands, and you could tell that they're aged and their voice is not what it used to be. Of course, especially against the higher singers, but the singers that sing a lot higher than other singers. But man, Bob Seger really blew us away. I thought it would be an average show, Against the Wind and Turn the Page, an average show. But man, he rocked the place and people loved it. It was insane. One of the better shows that my wife and I saw was definitely Bob Seger. So
you're teasing me.
Yeah,
the only guy I haven't seen.
Hopefully he comes back and you get to go see him.
It'd be awesome. Be awesome.
That's good. I want to, Mike. Now you say you have I want you to play a song for me, buddy. You have your guitar with you, right?
I do.
Okay, perfect. Do you want to sing us real quick, or not real quick? Take your time. One of your songs.
Sure.
And tell us a bit about it before you sing it, buddy. Or play.
Okay. All right. This song I actually started writing probably 8-10 years ago. And I'm a huge Allman Brothers fan, as anybody that knows me. I've seen them like 13 times live. And so I started writing this song about them. I wanted to write a little homage to the band. And I got about one verse done and a chorus. And that was it. And then it basically sat for about 6 or 7 years. And then it wasn't until I went in the studio with you, Barry, and then I played for you, I remember, and you were like, oh, you got to finish this song. So then I went back and I started working on it again, and I ended up writing another song, which we'll hear later. And then I came back and I finished writing this song here. So it's like a tribute to the Allman Brothers, basically.
Awesome, man. And it's called Not Forgotten, right?
It's called Not Forgotten.
Yep, absolutely. Play that song for us, my friend.
I'll try to do the condensed version of it, since we don't have to slide guitars. Anyway, it's called Not Forgotten. Go like that. Got on a freight train in Georgia to make an leave. Still in my big house, so many memories. I hear the music playing, the writings on the wall. For a moment, time stood still. Paid homage to the moment. Now they're gone, not forgotten, and they won't be coming back to the land of cotton. Time was made for giving, and those boys they gave back. Started making magic, and that magic never stopped. Train was gone way too early, before they knew it buried was lost. But they kept on making music. Ramble Man can never stop. Now they're gone, not forgotten, and they won't be coming back to the land of cotton. Somewhere inside a place called Rose Hill, Feel warm suffering breeze. Standing on the hillside, three markers there again. Somewhere off in the distance, see that big old Georgia tree. Hear the hammering and the guitars playing softly back to me. Now they're gone, not forgotten, and they won't be coming back to the land of cotton. Now they're gone, not forgotten, and they won't be coming back to the land of cotton.
Mike, that's awesome, brother. That's
All right.
such a great song.
Buddy,
Right.
Good
What a
job.
tribute to the Allman Brothers. Gary, you like that?
I loved it. It was great. And are you just playing through a speakerphone?
Yes.
Oh man, we should have.
Through my cell phone.
Okay, we should have hooked you up with a mic there and a mixer, so we can get, there'd be a lot of people I know that would want to, I don't know if it's good or not, but record that from home.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, if they want, wait a second. If they wanted to download that song, they can go to Inner City Outlaws on Reverb Nation. That's INNER City, one word, Inner City Outlaws on Reverb Nation, and download that song. Not Forgotten. I think it's on there, right, Mike?
I believe so, yes.
So it's right there for anybody, any listener out there to go and download. But it's definitely an amazing. Pardon?
It's on Spotify as well.
It's on Spotify as well. Actually, yeah, it's actually on over 165 music sites out there. So any of one of your favorite music sites, you can go to and download that song. So it's called Not Forgotten. We got some emails coming in. I'm shocked. We have emails coming in. No, it's awesome. So this one is, let's see here. We have an email from. This is from Sharon, I believe. Yep, it's from Sharon. It says, hello, listening in Detroit, Michigan. Fantastic show. Thanks for it and stay healthy. Well, Sharon, thank you so much for that nice compliment. We appreciate it. And we hope you're enjoying the show for sure. Thank you. And then we have one here from, let's see here. We have one that says, hi, Barry. Congratulations on your new show. Right on. And that's from Steve Longman. Thanks, Steve, man. That's very cool for people to reach out and congratulate me on this show. I'm very happy to be doing it, over the moon. So that's cool. And then we have another one. Let me just go through a couple here. We have another one for Doug. Hey, Dougie Robertson. We got one. It says, right on, Doug, from a fan in Orlando, Florida. He wants you to tour down there. Rock on. That's from Tom Lamodendo. Tom Lamodendo.
Oh, wow.
Do you know him, Doug?
It doesn't ring a bell, but it's like in the music business.
Hey, you got a fan, man.
Yeah, cool.
Fan. Here's one from Angela Wiggin, and it says, love the name Inner City Outlaws. Are you guys playing anywhere? And love the song. Now, me and Mike did this song together, so we're kind of sharing the song. I have it on Inner City Outlaws, and Mike was in the band for a bit, playing bass and singing, and we enjoyed some time together, and probably will again. But so just to let you know that this song is, me and Mike, like I said, we're sharing it. So you can find it on Inner City Outlaws stuff or Mike Hayes' stuff as well. So we actually did the song together. Mike wrote it. We went in the studio and played the instruments on it together with Angel. And I think, I don't know if Angel played on that one, but we did that in Sideman Studios with Doug DeVoe in Oshawa. So what a great time that was, eh, Mike?
Yeah, Angel played drums and did some harmonies with me in that.
Yep, she played drums on it and did some harmonies. Yep. Angel, sorry, Angel, if you're listening. Yeah, I know there was maybe a song or two that got skipped over there for that, but that's great. So, and that was from Angela. Thank you, Angela. Are we playing anywhere? Inner City Outlaws. So I have had the band for about since 1990, 30 years, and played live for about 10 years. But now I don't play live. Of course, you settle down, you open a business, you have family, and now I just basically write songs at home and go into Sideman Studios and record them and bring friends in like Mike. So that's basically all we're doing right now. So, but thank you for that, Angela. Much appreciated. I'm just going to check real quick and see if there's another one. I certainly don't want to miss anybody. Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, okay, so back to the show. I would like to do a segment that I'm going to call This Day in Music. So let me get right to that. This Day in Music. So 1964, the Beatles recorded the TV special Around the Beatles at Wembley Studios in England. As well as performing songs, they played Act 5, Scene 1 of Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night's Dream, and this is kind of weird, with John playing the female role of Thisbe, Paul was Paramus, and George as Moonshine, and Ringo as a lion, but Paul later named his cat Thisbe. So that's something that happened in 1964. In 1973, Dark Side of the Moon went to #1 in the U.S., The album went on to enjoy a record-breaking 741 discontinuous weeks on the Billboard chart. Can you imagine? And has now sold over 45 million copies. Just the one album, Dark Side of the Moon. But what a fantastic album, eh, guys?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, awesome.
And then after moving to the Billboard Top Pop catalog chart, the album notched up further 759 weeks there and had reached a total of over 1,500 weeks on combined charts by May 2006. So there's a little bit of This Day in Music history for you. And that's, before we go any further here, I also want to just do a little plug. Now, Gary, we're going to do an ad for Classy Chassis, but Josh is going to hook up with you and set that up. So, Josh, I just want to put this out there that Classy Chassis is our sponsor for the show. Josh and Charlene Hinnon. Well, what a great people. I mean, a bunch of great people, those two. They have a shop called Classy Chassis and Cycles up around Lakefield, and they do lots of events for us and have a yearly barbecue, and we do bike nights there. Katie, our Katie Witzel baby, Katie Boot Witzel, who rides with us, does a bike night up there. So this is a plug. Now, like I said, we're going to have a professional 30-second ad coming up for Classy Chassis, but I just wanted to put a shout out to them for sponsoring this show. Josh and Charlene, thank you so much. It's awesome. Okay, so let's see here now. I want to ask Mike where you were born, Mike, and what musical influences did you have as a kid? Because we've all had musical interests growing up. Influences.
I was born here in Oshawa. I was actually born in Bowmanville, but I've pretty much lived in Oshawa my whole life. I grew up here, and I've kind of lived in a few different places here and there for a year or two and whatnot. But I had an older brother. He was about 3 years older than me, and growing up with him, he was sort of a bit ahead of me age-wise, so he was doing things before I was. And
well, hang on. How many people, I wonder, Mike, really had an older brother or sister that got them into, back then it was albums, man, vinyl. I mean, that was the cool thing, and still is. To me, anyway. I have tons of them. I love vinyl. How many people do you think, or actual musicians, you can imagine how many there would be, that had an older brother or sister that actually, as you're saying right now, would have turned them on to all kinds of music that they were into? Yeah.
Well, quite a few people, I would imagine. So my upbringing, I was exposed to a lot of different stuff. Like I basically love music in general. I like all different styles of music. I listen to heavy metal. I listen to jazz. I listen to country, bluegrass. I like it all, right? It's good music. And like my dad, he was a bluegrass player. He played guitar and played in bluegrass bands and stuff when I was young. And we used to travel around and go to a lot of bluegrass festivals and things. And then my brother, he was more of the hard rock guy. So he was learning how to play guitar and into Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden and Deep Purple was his favorite band. And so I sort of got exposed to all that. And then my mom, she was more into the easy listening stuff of the 70s, Steely Dan and that kind of thing. So I've basically grown up around a very wide array of music. And my brother, I actually wanted to learn how to play guitar originally. Bass is my main instrument. I wanted to learn how to play guitar, and my brother's like, no, we need a bass player. He says, we don't need guitar players. They're a dime a dozen. So, sorry, Doug.
Yeah.
So anyway, I started learning how to play bass, and sadly, I picked up the bass probably for about 3 months, and he passed away on his 19th birthday in a car accident. And so from there, I basically have kind of carried on his legacy, so to speak, and doing the things that he never got to do, unfortunately. But he was my biggest influence. I used to sit and watch him play with his band in their basement jamming when I was a kid, and I always wanted to do that. And fortunately, I'm, being able to do that now.
Well, how cool is that, though? Like the memories that you can just think of from time to time about when you were a kid and that was happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
pretty awesome.
Big time.
Yeah.
Doug, we have an email from your son that says he's from the other room. This is Doug's son from the other room. You guys are killing it. Keep it up. So he must have gave you a ride there. Is that right?
No kidding. That's awesome.
Does he play too, Doug? Does your son play?
No, he did. Then he just, he got to be in his 20s, and then the girls came along.
Oh, he found girls, yeah.
Yeah, and that was it. Yeah, so that's too funny.
Absolutely. And what about you growing up, my friend? How did you get into music, or how did you start playing your first instrument?
I was born in Scotland, and I came here when I was 13 years old, and nobody in my family
you were
was
born
musician.
where?
Glasgow, Scotland.
You were born where, Doug?
Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Sorry, I just didn't hear you.
Yeah, so came here, and nobody played in my family. I just loved rock and roll all along, and ended up getting a used guitar. Never had a lesson in my life because we couldn't afford it. I just went and stole chords off of books and all that kind of stuff. And then in 1976, I went on the road to Little Caesar, and we were the opening act for Bay City Rollers. So,
Wow, what an honor that is. What a way to start out.
It was so cool, man. It was so cool.
Jeez, I bet.
Like $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
And I just kept on playing and learning and, getting chord books. And now the internet comes along, you can learn anything.
Yeah, well, that's it. There's a billion good guitar players now. I mean, there's a lot of guitar players. There's the odd ones that are distinctively different. But for the most part, geez, you can learn anything on a guitar.
Oh, yeah. And, Barry, it's like they show you step by step by step.
Yeah.
It's just awesome, so you don't have to worry about now. I mean, I wish I had taken lessons years ago, but now who cares because I can get it right here online.
Absolutely. It's amazing. Yeah. Well, you want to learn a song or get the lyrics, bang, it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. Absolutely. And like Mike said earlier, the guys that we have in the band with 5 voices, it just, some of the Eagles stuff we're doing just blows you away.
I can't wait to come see you. As soon as you guys are up and running, I'll be there.
Oh, awesome.
My wife loves bands. I have no choice. I got to come, Doug.
Yeah.
We have another email here, guys, from Cameron Ency, and it says, "Hello, gentlemen. Congrats on the show. Sounding fantastic here in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. How cool is that? Northwest Territories. Love the song. It's a hit. Mike, he loves the song.
Oh, thank you.
Not forgotten. Hopefully, Cameron, you can go to, if you heard what we were saying earlier, you can just go to any of your favorite music sites and download Not Forgotten. It's out there for you to get and listen to. Put it on your iPad or your put it in your playlist and off you go. But love the song. It's a hit. Take care and remain healthy. That's from Cameron. Thank you, Cameron. That's much appreciated.
Thanks, Cameron.
That's good.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Okay, now you know what, Mike? I want to play this song for you. See if you can recognize it. Nope, just kidding. This is a song that me and you did in the studio. Now, obviously, it's your song. You wrote it. But I was blown away the first time you played it in my living room, Mike. And to me, it really is a hit song. Let's hope one day, for your sake, that somebody bites onto it and you make $1 million, because you would deserve it. This is a fabulous song. And this one's called What Should I Do?
What should I do? I'm asking you. What should we do? The whole world's changing, not for the best. Should we help each other? Ignore the rest if it's true. What should I do? Please give me a cue. What should we do? We need to fix what's broken before we will change anything. If we can't mend the fences, everything stays the same. We have the time, it can be done. If we stop fighting and all become one and come through. What should I do? I'm asking you. What should we do? Should undo. What should we do? What should I do?
And right back to you, Bear.
How did you come up with that song, bud?
I don't know. I was actually working on that Allman Brothers song, and all of a sudden I kind of got sidetracked and I started noodling around, and I come up with that little guitar part there, and all of a sudden it just kind of flowed out of me.
Came out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, man, I know that feeling. Be sitting around doing nothing, pick up the guitar, and all of a sudden something just comes out. Sometimes it's relative to your life, sometimes it's not. So I get that. But what a great song, Mike. I mean, honestly.
That's phenomenal.
Now are you guys, sorry, Gary?
That was fantastic. Phenomenal. I don't understand why, if that song was shopped properly, I don't understand why it wouldn't be sold as even to another artist, as a single. The harmonies are beautiful. The melody line is beautiful. The production, even for the what we're listening to, is fantastic. That should definitely be in the hands of someone in Nashville or New York.
I agree, man. It's such a killer song. Some songs, you can feel, and you can really feel that song, brother. There's that, and Doug Duveau in Sideman Studios. Holy crap, can he ever produce stuff too? Because that's where all our stuff comes from. And we go in there, and I usually write a song on a Saturday and go in on a Sunday and record it most times. But these guys, Doug can make anything just absolutely amazing. So, little plug out for Dougie there in Angel. So that's pretty incredible. Mike, again, great song. Again, I want to just to throw a shout out to Classy Chassis, Josh and Charlene. Thanks for sponsoring this show, guys. I'm going to do a little segment right now for you guys out there, for the listener, that's called so this segment's called Crazy Music Facts. I'm just trying to find my stuff on my paperwork here. I'm a little bit disorganized. I'm sure it'll come around. But so Crazy Music Facts, or as what I like to call it, what in the diminished triad chord were you thinking? So here's a crazy, I know it's, hey, trust me, I don't know what a diminished triad chord is either, Doug. Trust me. But anyway, get a load of this. So Jerry Lee Lewis, the killer, drugs and alcohol don't mix and guns don't mix, but Jerry Lee Lewis almost lived up to his name, the killer, when he accidentally shot his own bass player with a .357 Magnum. Mike, good thing you weren't playing for Jerry Lee Lewis, brother. I'll tell you what. The killer, but anyway, some still believe that he murdered his fifth wife in 1983, which he strongly denies. In 76, he was also arrested outside Elvis's mansion, Graceland, outrageously drunk on champagne and wielding a firearm. He still maintains that Elvis has requested his presence. Most controversially, he almost hijacked his own career when he married a 13-year-old cousin in the late 50s. As of 2018, the killer has been married 7 times and still performs live. As I say, what in the diminished triad chord were you thinking?
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. Absolutely. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. We got another email here, guys. Sorry, just trying to do 5 things at once, from Claudette Jonier. And it says, hopefully I pronounced that properly, Claudette. It says, wow, Mike, great story and sad story as well. Bless all you guys. Fantastic show. Doug, Little Caesars and consoles. Amazing.
Yep.
How cool is that, eh?
I just want to point out, too, that I've probably seen Doug play with that band at Juke here in Oshawa during Fiesta Week back when I was a little younger.
Yeah. Get out of town.
Yeah, man.
That's cool, Mike.
Yeah.
Here's an email. Hey, we could just do a show with people's emails, man. This is amazing. We got Hannah Prinkson just sent us an email and said, and that song is not a hit. I think it's What Should I Do, Mike? That song is not a hit. She says, what the F? But I'm going to say, what the hell? Because this is a family-oriented show. So what the heck? I'll even change it to heck. It is amazing. The lyric line is A1, beautiful melody and harmony. So, Mike, who's again to that song. So, yeah, like I said, we're getting an awful lot of emails here, which is totally amazing. So you guys obviously don't, I guess nobody has any gigs set up right now. Have you talked about maybe, that's what I was going to ask. Are you guys, I'm going to come see you guys, Roller Coaster, when you're ready to go, but are you going to be playing Not Forgotten and What Should I Do? That's the question.
I'm thinking now that I've heard the whole thing, I really think we should put that on our set list. We're not a country band, but that's got a real nice country flavor, and I think we should do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm always game.
Sure.
I really do.
It's a great song. Gary, do me a favor and remind the folks still, if somebody wants to call in or send an email, ask a question, or even talk to Mike or Doug if they want to call in. Could you do that for me,
Sure
brother?
thing. If you're in the Toronto GTA area, we have a local number. Toronto GTA area is 905-725-1907. Toll free anywhere in North America, 1-866-905-REAL. That's 1-866-905-7325. Or if you want to just email us, we have 2 email addresses for you. The first one is instudio101@gmail.com. The second email address is thishouseofmusicians@gmail.com. There you go, Bear.
Thank you, Bud. And you know what? I really appreciate these folks like from all over Detroit, Northwest Territories. I mean, this is incredible. Who would have thought? And they're emailing us and listening to the show. That's incredible. Yeah. Thank you for that, listener. That's amazing. Guys, now I know I had a band for 10 years and I can tell you some really crazy stories, on stage playing live or just being out for the weekend with the band playing. How about you guys, Doug? You got any crazy stories?
Well, not really. Yeah. I mean, some of the guys we opened for. I was playing with Martin Dobie band years ago, and we opened for Hawkins at the Diamond Lils in Toronto, and it was just I didn't even know I was there. It was just a complete drunk fest. That's the way that's the way that his band does. So. We all went crazy,
That's where Robbie Robertson came from, right? He came from the Hawks.
Exactly. Yeah.
He was one of the Hawks, man.
Yeah.
So, Mike, how about you, brother? I mean, you played a lot of gigs.
Yeah, I got lots.
Well, tell us one. I'm sure the listener loves to hear crazy band and, musician stories.
Well,
and if not, I do.
Well, one funny thing I can tell you. I was on the road in the early 90s with a band called Hogtown, and we were like country rock band, and we were traveling all over Ontario and west, and one of our second homes was Iroquois Falls in Ontario up north of Timmins, and we used to play there quite regularly. It was kind of town. After a while, we'd pull into town and everybody'd be waving at us like we just came home. And but this bar that we played at, it was called the Capitol Tavern. I think it's gone now. Not around anymore, but they had a Keys to Us program. This was back in 92, 93. They had a Keys to Us, small town. If anybody doesn't know, Iroquois Falls, like 6,500 people. They used to have two big lumber mills there, Abitibi lumber mills, and that was basically sort of like General Motors was to Oshawa here. Everybody worked there and stuff, and then everybody loved to party and have a great time. And when we were playing up there in 93, I think it's January 93, they were saying then, we were told that they had one beer store in town, a liquor store, and two bars. And the beer store was selling over 15,000 cases of beer a week.
Holy.
Out of there. That was just the beer store alone. Now, their Keys to Us program back then, they only had one or two police in town, I think a couple of OPP or something like that, and they knew everybody in town. So when we asked how we were supposed to get to the party we were going to after we played, the concept was there was two guys in town that owned cabs. You call the cab, and the cab comes over to the bar. You drive the cab. He drives your truck.
Get out of town.
Because the police won't pull over the cab. So if you drive the cab, he drives your truck, follows you over to your place, drops your vehicle off, then takes you to the party.
Really? That is too cool, man. Maybe we should open a business like that.
Yeah.
No, there's key. Yeah, exactly.
We had a lot of fun there over a couple of years. We had a lot of fun in that town. So it was a great town, great people.
Absolutely.
And we did some really cool. I used to do some really cool shows around here too. I opened up for Edgar Winter Band downtown.
So hold on, let's step back a step here. You opened up for the Edgar Winter Band. Tell us about that, brother. That's amazing.
I was with a band called Alchemy at the time. It was a 5-piece band as well, and we knew a guy. There was a big bar here in Oshawa downtown back then. It held probably 1,300 people. It was called the Purple One, and they had all the premier acts there. I saw everybody there from Nazareth, the Lighthouse, the Buddy Guy, you name it. They had everybody in there. So anyway, he got us a gig opening for Downchild Blues Band to begin with. For playing for a case of beer. And they already had an opening act. We were just kind of thrown on at 9 o'clock as a third band, and we got a little dingy little room in the basement and a free case of beer. We polished off the case before we went on stage. We went out figuring the bar was going to be empty at 9 o'clock. It was packed. It was packed, and we put on probably the best show that we ever did, I think. Yeah. And they loved us. So when we got back downstairs to our little dressing room, they had another case of beer on ice for us, and then they asked us if we wanted to open up for Edgar Winter. So we ended up getting a job opening for Edgar Winter. I opened up for Pat Robertson there. Quite a few different groups and stuff. And we used to have a lot of fun in there. Just going in, and it was more just playing rock star, pretending like we were stars, playing in our little
Absolutely. How cool is that?
Band. Yeah.
Yep.
Like the memories, man. Music, isn't it something? Music, it's just absolutely amazing. And the memories that you gather playing with different musicians and the parties and the fun. I remember playing the Lindsay Irish House. I'm just going to tell you a quick one here. We used to go up there, and Bonnie and Willie owned it at that time. And Lindsay, it was like this, old pub, the Lindsay Irish House, and they'd give us rooms upstairs. So 3 or 4 rooms for the band members. And we would, it's Lindsay. Holy smokes. We'd be on while we were on stage tuning and getting set up at 7:45 to start. People were on the dance floor standing there waiting to dance while we were just tuning our guitars. Just incredible. But we used to go upstairs and have the rooms and bring people upstairs and just party all night. We got in trouble from Bonnie and Willie so many times, but they kept having us back. So some pretty funny stories, I'm sure that we all have. But I just want to say, guys.
Now. Oh, sorry.
What's that? Sorry, Doug.
I said, there's a bar up there now called Fiddler's Green that has approached us to play there. So
I wonder if that's the old. I wonder if it's the old Lindsay Irish House then.
I have no idea.
I haven't been there for a long time, so I'm not 100% sure. But we got another email from Janice Preston in Alberta. Jasper, wow, what a beautiful place, Jasper, Alberta. Janice says, Barry, what a show. Holy cow. Where did you find these amazing, talented musicians? I can't believe it. So, cahoots to Mike and Doug right there. I'll tell you what.
Thank you.
So now next weekend, guys, we got about 8 minutes left here. So next weekend, I'm going to have Seb Agnello on the show. Sebastian, boy, he's been playing around in Toronto for years and years and years. He was with the band. Yeah, Seb. Let me see here. I got it right here. I just can't remember. Yeah, he was with the band The Lords of London way back when the Beatles were around. So he actually, The Lords of London, I believe that was the band that Seb opened up with, or it was his band opened up for Jimi Hendrix. Now, he's got a Jimi Hendrix story. So we're looking forward to having him on next weekend. That's Seb Agnello. So we're looking forward to that.
And Barry, we want you to take, if you don't mind, and your guests don't mind, we'd like you to take an extra 5 minutes or so, because we had a little bit of a technical glitch at the beginning, and we want to give your listeners their full hour.
That's awesome, buddy. Much appreciated.
Cool.
You're welcome.
That's very, very cool. We have another email here, guys. Hey, Kathy here. Just want to tell you, Doug, he has way more stories, but like you said, it's a family show. Got to keep it clean. Oh, really, Doug? And he says, can't wait for my friend Doug and his band Roller Coaster to get back to rocking and rolling. So that's
I know who that is. I know who that is.
Kathy Kurtzsteger, I believe you say it, is her name. And she's from Pearson, Canada, I believe. That's what that is. So thank you for that email, Kathy. Doug, you're getting famous here, buddy. You already were famous, apparently.
There you go.
Well,
there you go.
That's been the worst part about this, Barry, because when we did that gig at Cheers in Trent back in early March, we went in to play that night. It was the first time we'd been in there. Now, I know Rita Harpel, the owner. She's a good friend of mine. We went in there. The place was absolutely packed. You could not move in there. And we had a blast playing. Everybody loved the band. We had some people out to see us. And we've been getting correspondence from people, saying that we're on the list, that they want us to play. But of course, as you know, nothing's open to play right now.
Right.
Like we're getting offered stuff like casinos and Ritz Fest and things like that. And unfortunately, everything's all canceled. So we're looking at all this stuff thinking, wow, we could have all these gigs this summer and this could be so much fun. And here we are stuck in the house now. So our kind of
crazy, isn't it?
Thing kind of comes up to,
It's crazy how it all just went down and quickly. And you know what? I mean, Canada's doing, I don't want to get to talk about the COVID-19 very much. I mean, it's plastered all over the place everywhere on TV and everyone's talking about it. But I just want to touch on the fact that I think Canada is doing a fabulous job. And, the residents are doing a fabulous job of staying at home and paying attention to what's going on and not being ignorant to be going out and ignoring it. There might be the odd person here and there, but I'm just saying, we're doing a fabulous job. And I think if we keep doing this, it won't be long before it's over.
It was absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully.
We got an email, guys, from Jody Sassman. And it says, "Hi, everyone. Congrats on your radio show, Barry. This is such a great show. Great, talented musicians and wonderful songs. Please stay healthy, everyone." Thank you, Jody. You too. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Jody. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So there you go. The emails are just flying. That's great.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So now, do you guys want to mention the other band members and talk about them a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Mike or Doug? Sorry, I should have picked one of you.
It's okay. Go ahead, Mike.
Together.
Go ahead, man. Mike's good.
Just kidding. Not both of you together. Okay. If you want to touch on that.
Our drummer's name is Johnny Hill. I'm not sure. You knew him before me, didn't you, Doug?
Yeah.
So I'm
great drummer. Great vocals. Does Journey stuff. He's got that high range.
Wow, Journey stuff is so hard to do, man.
Yeah, he does it verbatim, note for note. And he was being a drummer. He was a front guy for another band. So
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We got a
and what's
local
his name
guy,
again? Sorry.
Johnny Hill.
Johnny Hill. Right on. Okay.
Johnny Hill. Yeah. And then the guitarist was the last guy to come into the band. Is Cal Post. Is actually a buddy of mine who we've been in a band for the last 10, 15 years called Tears, three-piece band. And he came on board with us just shortly before we did that gig in Trenton. And he's a lead singer. He's a multi-instrument guy. He plays guitar, bass, keyboards, drums, banjo, mandolin, fiddle, plays a whole bunch of different instruments, and good singer as well. And then we've also got Doug and myself, and I'm at a loss here. Steve Coupland playing piano with us. And he's also a singer and plays guitar as well. And that's so it's a 5-piece band. Basically, Barry, the idea of this band when we put this band together was to lean more towards the bigger, I don't know how to say it, but more towards
corporate deals.
The Rib Fest, the festivals, casinos, that kind of thing, and try not as much so on the bar gigs. Yeah. We've all been around forever. We've all played bars, our whole lives, and we're just trying to get into playing a little, not quite as much, like every weekend relentlessly like we used to, play less but more meaningful type jobs. So that's sort of the intent of this band. We'd rather play a little less but do better gigs,
Oh, for sure.
And I did when I first started Roller Coaster, like a year and a half ago, I did 7 Rib Fests. So we know all the local people that put them on, like the organizers and all that. And so it's an easy gig when you can walk in and the people and they've heard you play before. So it's pretty good.
And all the different flavors of barbecue sauce too, don't you, Doug?
Yeah, you got her.
Doing all those Rib Fests, eh?
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, so guys, how can our listener get in touch with you, or your contact info is, I know you have a Facebook page here and you have some information on it. You have a website or the Facebook page. You want to speak about that a bit?
You want to go, Mike, or you want me to?
Go ahead, Doug.
Okay, you can go to www.rollercoasterband.ca. That's our website, and contact info is right on there. And you can email via that. It'll come to me. Or you can go on our Facebook page, which is @BandRollerCoaster. So lots of ways to get us.
Okay, good.
My personal number is on the website. My personal cell phone number is on the website. You can get me via there. You can email me. You can email Mike. Or we all check the web page quite often. So,
well, according to these emails, you might be getting a few phone calls. I don't think you should have told anyone your number was that good.
I like that.
There you go, Doug. Doug, what's your favorite instrument, man? Like what brand? What do you play, brother?
You know what? I love the guitar. I just love it. I used to fart around the keyboard for a little bit, but I love the guitar. I got a Les Paul, got a Fender amp, and I love it.
I've had Fenders, Doug, all my life. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I baby it. I always did.
Absolutely. I have Fenders all my life, and love the Fender. Always wanted a Les Paul, and finally last week broke down and bought one. So
good for you.
Yeah, they're setting it up at the Hands On Music in Bowmanville here. So that guy's great, Dan, in there, and he's setting that Les Paul up for me. So I'll be down there to pick it up. I can't wait to play it, man. I've never had a Les Paul before. Mike, how about you? I know you play bass, Mike. You're an amazing bass player, but geez, you're a great guitar player too. So what instruments do you prefer? Brand name?
Well, I play an Ibanez 5-string bass. I played 4-string for a long time, and then I kind of got hooked on the 5-string. I just like that extra little bit of bottom end on there. I use a Mark bass amp and guitar, basically just a Simon Patrick acoustic guitar. Guitar is sort of a secondary thing for me. I do the odd solo gig here and there at the pubs and that, but the majority of the stuff that I do band-wise is the bass.
Okay, yep, nope, that's awesome. Here's another email, guys. This is from Joyce Latkiski, yes, from Joyce, and it says, hey, do these guys have a social media preference? Websites, amazing show. Yeah, Joyce, we just touched on that. So if you go to Facebook and go to Roller Coaster, does it say, what's the title? Yeah, it's just Roller Coaster. They do have a Facebook page. Now, Doug, I'm sorry, you have a website too.
Yeah, www.rollercoasterband.ca.
www.rollercoasterband.ca. There you go. Correct. That's for the band Roller Coaster. So definitely there's some information on there for the listener. And it's great. You know what? Absolutely amazing to have you guys on the show. And, the first, man, our first show and to have Roller Coaster on, I really appreciate you guys coming on here and doing this with us.
Had a blast.
Yeah. So, and I can't wait, like I said, for you guys to get out and get playing again. I don't know when that will be. Hopefully not too long. Do you guys think about maybe doing some video stuff like, how you see some of these guys, they're each playing their instruments on a split screen, maybe do a promo song or something and they do a split screen video thing together. You guys thought about that or talked about it?
Well, the thing was that when we first we got the band together and we had that Trenton gig come up at Cheers, we really focused on that. And then this virus came along. So we didn't get a whole lot of chance. There's a couple on the website. There's a couple of promo videos at rehearsal. So, you can see them. There's only a couple there, but now that when this shit is gone, it'll just give us more time and we'll concentrate on probably doing that. Mike and I just talked about the pictures and that stuff the other day. So we'll have to get on that.
Absolutely. And, Angel, if you guys get in touch with Angel, you all know who she is. She's an amazing, again, drummer, keyboard player, singer, just an absolute sweetheart, and has been playing with me for at least 5 or 6 years now, doing background vocals and playing lots of instruments on all of our original songs. So God bless Angel. But if you guys reach out to her, I know she came and took some pictures already of your band, did she not? I mean, I was in the studio with her when she had to leave and go take no, I think it was the next day. Yeah. So the next day she went and she got set up to take some promos of you guys, eh?
Yeah.
So that would be someone to talk to about doing a video for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also looking forward to getting back in the studio with Angel and Doug and whatnot. Mike, we'll have to get you back in there as well, playing some bass, and maybe we'll record another one of your songs. I mean, I had an absolute blast, so that was great. Again, folks, we appreciate. I'm gonna just go out here, Doug. I'm Gary and Mike. Thank you. I appreciate again Roller Coaster, you guys being on the show here, and
thanks for
having us, man. Appreciate it.
And I'll tell you what, as soon as everything's back to normal, we'll get you out. We'll get you right in the show physically, and it's a lot more personal and personable, and it's not on the phone remotely. So it's definitely a lot better and a lot more fun.
Yeah, and hopefully we can get John in as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I'm in.
Absolutely. Sure. You could bring the band in. That'd be fabulous. Bring in, your instruments, and we'll play some guitars and have you guys can play some live tunes and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to thank everybody so much who emailed us today on this House of Musicians. What a joy to have people emailing in, especially not knowing what was going to happen. Like I said, this is our first show, and I'm over the moon to be here, and I thank everybody for that. And I also want the listener to know that when you listen to music, always dance and sing, and let the music bring your soul to the surface for all the world to see. And until next Tuesday, have a shuffle your feet kind of week, and good night to you all. You've been listening to the House of Musicians on Reality Radio 101.
Thank you for listening to this House of Musicians with your host, singer, songwriter, and founder of the band Intercity Outlaws, the Baritone Bear, Barry Smith, right here on Reality Radio 101.
Because we just don't have a care. Whoa.